sensitivity. I recommend Sensodyne because it works.
Unaendelea kutazama Kenya's Gold, tunakukujia mubashara kutoka Karen, makao yake naibu wa rais Rigathi Gachagua, na tunauliza maswali mengi kuhusiana na ukulima. Naibu wa rais, swali langu hapa, tuna vijana wengi ambao wangependa kujitosa ukulima, lakini kuna dhana kwamba ukulima ni umaskini.
Ni kweli wengine wanaona hivyo kwa sababu ya yale majaribio na mateso wakulima wamepitia kwa muda mrefu sana. Na hiyo ndio sababu rais ameniagiza mimi kujaribu kutafuta marekebisho katika sekta mbalimbali katika kilimo. Na tungetaka kuambia vijana wetu ya kwamba ukulima si umaskini. Ni vile tu hatujapanga vizuri, lakini wakati huu tumekubaliana lazima tupange kilimo. And the reason why is that we are importing food worth $4.2 billion every year, giving out our hard-earned foreign currency that we require. $4.2 billion US. Edible oils alone are taking $1.2 billion US. Despite Kenya being the largest milk producer in Africa, we still don't produce enough. Our people consume a lot of milk. We do like 5 billion liters, but we need about 6 billion liters. We are still importing about 1 billion liters. And that is why President William Ruto and our government has decided that our focus is agriculture. And that is why there is a lot of interventions. First and foremost, to make agriculture more attractive and to try to bring down the cost of production. And what we have done, when we came in last year on September 13th, a bag of fertilizer was 7,000 Kenya shillings. Many farmers could not afford. And what happened is that there was low yields, and that is why we had a crisis when we came in, because we did not even have sufficient maize in our national food reserve. Again, as we came in, we had the effects of the prolonged drought, the worst drought in 40 years after 5 failed successive seasons. And through pragmatic leadership by President William Ruto, the government was able to come up with a program to subsidize fertilizer from 7,000 to 3,500. You are aware the president has gone even further to subsidize fertilizer up to 2,500. Again, we give thanks to the Lord that when the government subsidized fertilizer, we got good rains. And we are expecting a bumper harvest. You know, our annual food maize production in a good season is 40 million bags of maize. We went as low as 34.6 million bags. This year, we expect to surpass the 40 million bag. But again, we now have another challenge, that El Nino is coming. We are now coping with the issues of post-harvest losses. And what the government has done is to procure dryers to assist our maize farmers to dry their maize, and again will subsidize that cost where the farmer can meet half and the government can meet half. So why our young people must agree that it's important that they engage in farming to start with is the available means of production and the only available job market for now, for the majority. The formal job market can take only a certain percentage. All the other young people have to join the informal sector, they have to join farming, they have to join manufacturing, so they must come in. But I want to encourage them, because this government is determined, first and foremost, to attain food security, that we have enough to eat, to do import substitution. We want to stop importing food. For example, edible oils, they take about 1.2 billion shillings. And we have very fertile lands in Western Kenya and Nyanza where we can do soybeans, we can do palm oil, because these are the ingredients that make the edible oils. Right. And I want to confirm that already we have an agreement with Western countries like Mali, and we have already started receiving seedlings. And we are going to spend a lot of money in billions, almost 200 billion, to acquire oil pressers to help our farmers who are going to engage in palm oil farming, so that we can stop importing edible oils and we can make them here. So that's a huge opportunity for our young people. Again, in matters cotton, you know that the market is very huge for cotton, and we have very good soils that go well with cotton. Again, we have a program of obtaining seedlings, and with support of development partners, we want to encourage our young people to also get into cotton farming. And I want to say one of the ways to make farming profitable so that we can attract even the young people. There was a breakdown of extension services after the advent of devolution. I don't know, you must have been young people, I don't know whether you are there, but a long time ago, in the late 70s, when I was a young boy, in the early 80s when I was in high school, we had agricultural extension officers everywhere, and they were known by everybody. And they would guide good farming methods, animal husbandry, and they were such a blessing to our farmers. Somehow along the way, that broke down, and farmers have not been doing what is required so that they get the right yield and they can lower down the cost of production. Working with the World Bank, we have gotten some funding, and we are working with the counties. We are going to have 10 agricultural extension officers in every ward in Kenya, in more than 1,350 wards, excluding the urban centers, so that in every ward there are 10 agricultural extension officers to help our farmers on good farming methods, on how to do financial accounting, how to keep their books, how to apply the right seedlings, how to do the right pesticides, how to get the right fungicides, how to make sure there are no post-harvest losses. So they have huge interventions that the government of President William Ruto has put in place to really support the farmers. And that is where now the young people must take advantage. And they don't have a choice, I must be very honest with them. What are the opportunities available? The huge opportunity in this country now is farming. And with the government's intervention and focus on agriculture as one of the main pillars of the Kenya Kwanza plan, on how to restore our economy, on how to boost the rural economy, how to make sure that farmers are sufficiently empowered. That is why all these interventions are going on. And I'm sure if our young people can take up this opportunity, this is a huge space, and they have the leeway, they have the opportunity to reap these benefits from the government and other stakeholders and make a good living out of the whole experience.
All right. So you have touched on something very important, subsidy fertilizers, which is one of the great initiatives we have seen with this government. I'm sure there's a young person somewhere wondering, are you also catering for the different needs of the young people in different crops they would like to grow, whether it's horticulture, whether it's tea, coffee? We will answer that after the break. Right now, we are taking a short commercial break. We will be right back, but still I remind you to talk to us across all our social media platforms. Our SMS line is 22422, and our email is kenyasgold@royalmedia.co.ke. We come back with absolutely much more on matters subsidy and agriculture in general. See you. Nafo.